Hello, Chasers! Today's episode is about how to reduce your student loan, more commonly referred to as a help debt. I'm your host, Chris Becks, a financial and business advisor with over 40 years' experience and the founder of the multi-award-winning CBEX Business Solutions for Good. As this is an accounting and tax topic, and as a member of CPA Australia and registered tax agent, I'm obliged to give you this general advice disclaimer before we begin.
The advice provided is general advice only, as in preparing it, we did not take into account your investment objectives, financial situation, or particular needs. Before making an investment decision on the basis of this advice, you should consider how appropriate the advice is to your particular investment needs and objectives. You should also consider the tax implications on your financial situation. Chris Becks, CPA member number 805103 and registered tax agent number 629433015, is a director of CBEX Business Solutions for Good and is authorized to provide accounting and tax advice.
Now that is done, let's dive into this episode. One of the biggest costs to a successful career can be your education fees. Way back in the 80s, yes, I know, that was a long time ago, as my daughters constantly remind me, I was fortunate to miss out on this financial burden as I had a part-time job washing dishes at the local hospital as a dish pig that enabled me to pay for each year of my uni courses. However, each of my three daughters have accumulated or are still accumulating student loans as they work towards completing their courses, and so this is an important topic in our household too. If you have a study and training loan balance, for example a help debt, it may be worthwhile to consider methods of reducing the balance to ensure you are not left with a large tax bill when you lodge your income tax return later this year. While there is no interest charged on a help debt loan, indexation is added to these debts on the 1st of June each year, based upon the Consumer Price Index or CPI. Now, given the current rate of inflation, individuals with study and training loan balances should expect a larger than normal adjustment this year. Also, your home loan application could be impacted by your help debt, so the quicker it is gone, the better off you will be in the future to service that loan and meet the repayments. If you have a help debt loan balance, it is worth checking and considering the following 3 tips. Number 1, let your employer know if you have started studying or have a loan balance. Number 2, check the amount of tax your employer is withholding. If there has not been enough tax deducted from your wages to cover your compulsory repayment, you can ask them to increase the withholding amount. And number 3, make a voluntary repayment to reduce your total loan amount. Indexation on the loan is applied on the 1st of June, so a voluntary repayment prior to this date will reduce the balance that the indexation is applied to. Please note that the ATO wheels turn very slowly and it may take a few days for them to receive and process the payment. So make sure you get your voluntary repayments in early. Indexation will not apply to a help debt on the 1st of June if the balance is nil. Any loan debt over 11 months old will be subject to indexation. The compulsory repayment threshold is set by the ATO each financial year. If you earn over this amount, the compulsory repayment is worked out when your tax return is lodged, and it will be included on your notice of assessment. To summarise the key points on how to reduce your student loan, number 1, let your employer know you are studying or have a help debt. Number 2, check out how much tax they are withholding from your wages to cover the compulsory repayments, so that you don't get caught short at tax time. And number 3, consider making an additional voluntary repayment well before the 1st of June so that the indexation applies to a much lower balance. That's our tips on how to reduce your help debt. Thank you for listening. I'm Chris Becks, and I look forward to presenting our next episode to you.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the Chasers channel, we would love you to share it with your business friends and colleagues, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from CBEX Business Solutions for Good, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/CBEX, Instagram at CBEX, and on the internet at cbex.com. Thanks again, and we'll be sharing new info with you on our next episode.